and I were never more than the sum of broken promises. Happy lives, balanced on the tips of dark and lonely smiles, all the while we, the happy two, planting strange kisses with the seed of stolen fruit, hung from forked tongue, truth unspoken became spoken untruth, whispered and sung in the grooves of deceptive lips when planting strange kisses. Stranger still, we were strangely familiar. Strangers familiar with copious means of keeping up appearances when neither of us even knew what copious means. Or love, really. Ours was either a sultry glance or the beautiful dance of shadows cast by cricket and frail forest. Naked trees, balding branches bent to infidelity, backlit by flames of infatuation who lick at the nubile night and reach for the deception of stars trapped in the bald void upon which we faithfully spoke dictations and daily affirmations. Your independent persuasions were dismissed with every word I uttered. Gems fluttered away and pinned upon a cluttered missive, but damn it if we didn't look good. Matching tones blend like voices played in unison, like choices made in unison, this lunacy, the illusion of unity, like your curves were meant for me, like these words were meant to be spoken in pleasure, but over the measure of our days together, I finally came to realize it was purely by coincidence that we ever played the same note in the chorus of two different melodies.
Hell yeah.
I had so many conversations, and I grew weary of explaining the same thing over and over and over again. So I wrote this piece. I'd like to dedicate it to the moral outrage and the righteous indignation of the all lives response. Dear America, after much deliberation and careful consideration, I have arrived at the following conclusion. Fuck your feelings! I'm tired of smiling, attempting to correct your hateful rebuttal, respectfully deflecting your not quite so subtle ignorance, patiently expounding upon simple ideas to simple minds, teaching critical thinking to brick walls, reaching to save the few last jewels of uncommon sense from spilling through the cracks of a broken intellect. You are my constant reminder that thought requires uncommon effort. Try harder. I don't allow my students to play dumb, so I'll be damned if I let you. And by the way, what do you know of my culture anyway, beyond, say, whatever urban music your grandchildren can trick you into listening to if you have time, Grammy? MC got it. You have to excuse my tone. I was raised to respect my elders, but no one taught my parents how to honor the ancestors. So I stand here, crude, rude, weary, open, and fresh out of fucks. Besides, of course, the one I offer your brittle emotions, your delicate sensibilities. I willingly enter into debate where apparently I bait races. But babies of my race were used to bait gators, and somehow to you that shit is less racist? Backwoods, Florida swamp horrors, brush aside branches, bearing strange fruit. Criticize me as I skillfully arrange proof in prose, dangled inches from your nose to expose truth. Expose the sins you defend when you create men of straw. It's true, black lives have never mattered more, but black lives have never mattered more. Someone convinced you to add a word that no one said, but you decided you heard. Use the fallacy to bolster your lie. I swear you sound insane, mumbling, but all lives matter. At no one in particular, arguing with the straw man of your own making, but if you only had a brain, you'd understand. You can win. Instead, you accuse me of refusing to let the healing begin. Like it was ever you who suffered. Fuck your feelings. So cathartic. Oh. This is one of my favorite pieces. I love this piece. No offense to the God-fearing people in the house. All right. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. And the church said amen. Amen. And amen again. Amen. And I began to wonder who among her knew the truths of amen, amen, and their Amen-Ra roots. Or how, around the turn of ancient civilization, our representation of the Son, a God, became the Son of God, a mistranslation, and through patient vilification, we got turned around, and now we sit in buildings, wielding the word as a weapon. Wrestle not against flesh and blood, who can separate us from his love. But in trying to feel connected, we're dying and still forget that the whole armor of God cannot protect his beloved from being sold and separated. Ripped from flesh and blood, losing strips of flesh and blood, whipped by those who profess to love, who on the seventh day sat and read to us words as weapons. Turn the other cheek. Blessed are the meek. When I am weak, then am I strong. See, if in this life only we have hope, we are of all men most miserable. But I go to prepare a place that where I am, you may be also. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed in us one day. Someday. Any day now? Anyway, how can I, a good conscious brother, sit and listen in good conscience, brother? Have faith in this Christ, this latest Messiah who spanned time and generations in different iterations. The myth of Mithra, Horus son of Osiris, legend of Jesus on Egyptian papyrus, blessed son of God, born of a virgin, miracle working, tempted by Satan, that terrible serpent. How can I get back in church when she still thinks that the King James Version holds the key? So I know she hasn't heard the good news. You're already free from hell and sin, condemnation of men. Why turn back to that congregation again, I asked, and fell silent to the drop of a pin. Braced myself for the storm to begin. Looked at each face and searching within, had they heard a single word? And the church said, amen. I'm expecting my first kid. How about that? Yeah, little Rosalie Kira McKell. Man, looking forward to getting her. So, of course, she's already sneaking her way into my writing. This is one of my favorite pieces. I need to get better at tying knots. Not in wet sneaker laces caked in dirt and grime and childhood sludge. With the stamped approval of dusty asphalt woven into frayed brown cotton strings, pulled through playground puddles, pockets of precipitous presents placed overnight. No. I learned those. But I do need to brush up on my knots. Not the ones which left scars on the sides of my eyes and brow and one just above my chin from countless collisions. Faultless impact. In fact, don't reach for this crossover or rebound with reckless elbows or love without intention. I learned to position myself in the athletic stance. Feet set at shoulder width, knees bent in a slight crouch, a tilt at the waist, weight forward, heels up in anticipation, weight forward, hands open, ready, and without fear. See, I bumped my head enough to know that leaning in always leaves scars. No, I earned those. Still, I need to improve at tying off bows. But not on the tops of Christmas gifts, wrapped and crafted to extend the suspense of finding some shiny new thing behind festive prints, like a princess tiara for a little girl. Hidden, adorned in silk and ribbon, twisted and curled, pulled and set like kinky locks, already a crown for my young and blooming queen. No, I can do those. I need to get better at the type of knot you tie when you've lost a limb in battle. Perhaps a limb. Stepping on landmines time and again because they are so well hidden, disguised to blend in with smiles and hugs and I love you twos. But the spontaneous loss of a body part you thought would always be with you is a terror I would not wish upon any ex. Ghastly absence is nothing compared to the ghostly presence left behind. Occasional reminder of a piece of you that once was. I need to get better at tying these knots because one day, after she learns to twist and loop, over, around, and through. Secure the strings on top of her shoe. After she learns that falling down is okay, that bumps and bruises go away with time and a kiss. After she understands that daddy will give her the world just as soon as he conquers this mic. I need to get better at tying knots because my daughter will have her heart broken for the first time and come to me, a tilted well of tears spilled. And when she asks me how I healed, I can't afford to say, I'm not.